If you would like to have access to the full 4-hour recording of this project with every single pencil called out, you can grab that on Patreon in the Palette Pro tier. Additionally, I am offering this hand-drawn coloring page as a free gift for everyone. It is also posted up on Patreon, print it out, and color along with me. For truly professional results, and especially when working with metallic effects, I highly recommend working on toned paper and starting your coloring with white. I'm working on gray toned Strathmore paper, and for my white pigment, I'm using white charcoal. A white pencil from any pencil brand will also work. But me, I'm really hooked on this stuff. I use this technique for skin tones and still lifes alike, but for metals especially, working on toned paper and adding white instead of working on white and adding gray is a more professional and realistic look. We have an entire course on metals in the Academy that is, I think, 80 lessons long. And in it, I cover a multitude of metallic textures, various lighting scenarios, and of course, we create actual complex compositions together. This project, start to finish, took 4 hours. Just the coloring part. The drawing took me a good day. But you don't have to worry about that. You have the coloring page. 4 hours for a hyper-realistic coloring is fast, crazy fast. You don't have to work that quickly. If this takes you a day, a week, or even a month, it doesn't matter. As long as in the end, you are happy with the result and you had a good time doing it. Having said that, invest in underpainting and backgrounds. Coloring this entire sky may seem slightly less exciting than jumping straight to his face or his armor, but trust me, having that color there will greatly help you make the correct color choices, and more importantly, the correct value choices, meaning how light or dark something is, when it comes to things like skin tones or the metal effects. Our main colors on this composition are red, white, and blue, for obvious reasons. Since we're working with shiny metal on gray paper, out of these 3 options, blue makes the most sense for a metallic undertone. If you're interested more in the science of color selection and truly mastering color pencils as a medium, consider joining our flagship course, How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro. And remember, once you join a course, it's yours forever. There's no rush on when to start, and there are no limits on how often you want to revisit certain sections. Working on the most interesting part of this drawing, our character's face, after a significant time spent on underpainting and shading, notice all the red and blue that I'm using instead of picking browns. When switching from our main composition to just the face, it's often tempting to pick exact pencils to match the exact complexion. But that's a beginner's approach. As pros, we consider the composition as a whole, adjusting colors to lighting and the overall presentation. I'm using mainly my reds and blues, which together come across as a dark brownish skin tone. And I'm investing heavily in high contrast. At this point, I'm about 2 hours into my coloring, so just about halfway. We'll talk more about using black pencils later on in the show. It is a metals coloring video after all, and not a skin tones one. So let's work on that shield. Is this thing glorious or what? While the face is crucial in depicting the character and of course showing off our portraiture skills, in this particular composition, the shield is the real star of the show. It's the most prominent feature, and of course, it's the defining prop of our character. Getting this shield to look actually metallic is extremely important. On something like this, it's crucial to work with the direction of the metal polish. It may seem tricky on a round surface, and it will take patience and practice. Working on the body armor. Notice how much I invested in the first layer of gray before adding blue and then using my blender pencil to smooth out the detail and texture. Layering goes a long way in creating gorgeous and believable effects. Take the time to color everything several times. Yes, it's time consuming, but it's also relaxing and therapeutic, and it renders incredible results. Layer, layer, layer. I have been teaching art for over 20 years now, and in all of my experience with students in various academies, as well as my private students, those who layer produce the most beautiful results. Don't rush coloring. Pencil work, it's like embroidery. It takes millions of tiny motions, and it all falls together in the end. If this sort of immersive long-term shading isn't for you, consider working with other media. Watercolor paint is the fastest, but we also have acrylic paint, markers, brush markers, and for those seeking instant gratification, we have pour painting. It may seem counterintuitive, but in order to make metallic surfaces really shine, we have to use pure black. I know, it's really scary for a lot of people, but if you've invested in solid layering and your colors and contrast are all nicely balanced, of course, all of my How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro students know everything about this by now, then adding black touch-ups will be a breeze. This black pigment will actually layer very gently and easily over all of your other colors. It's like magic. I'm barely touching the paper at this point. And look at how it makes everything pop. Shiny effects are more about high contrast than they are about color selection. It is important to leave black for your last effect though. This will help you avoid smudging and color distortions. So make sure that you are happy with everything else before diving into this step.